Today on Judge Faith. These newlyweds say they had to carpool home from their wedding.
So you had to get in the back of the Lincoln Navigator. You didn't have a limo?
Yes. Right.
Mr. Kitchen?
But the defendant says he had 2 limos waiting to take them to their honeymoon.
He bold-faced lied to me, made me very upset. I told him, sir, you have 2 cars there.
Now, Judge Faith gets this bride and groom back on the road to marital bliss.
You have to understand how important that is for a bride on her wedding night.
Ma'am,
that was
I
an
know very
important
well.
night for her, sir.
And later, a loan that was never repaid.
The defendant's boyfriend had asked me for a $3,000 loan. They were going to lose their home.
And Judge Faith tells it like it is, with interest.
One of you accepted 4 $1,000 money orders from this man. It's not making a lot of sense that you're both standing in front of me now doing this and saying we don't owe any money.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor, and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real, and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Kendrick Lyles and his new bride Jamie say they were left stranded on their wedding night, even though they paid the defendant in advance for his limo service. Defendant Bill Kitchen says he had 2 limos waiting for the plaintiff at the reception, but when they refused to pay for the second limo, he instructed the drivers to leave. He's countersuing, claiming that Kendrick is trying to ruin his reputation by telling lies about his business.
Remain seated and come to order. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Judge, this case is Lyles versus Kitchen.
Thank you, Barbara. All right, Mr. Lyles, you are suing the defendant. You say he left you without a ride on your wedding day, so you're suing for $330 for a limo rental refund. Yes. Mr. Kitchen, you say your limo company did their job, so you don't owe, and you're countersuing for $5,000 for the rental and defamation.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Lyles, we'll start with you.
Well,
when did you get married?
September 7th, 2013.
Okay, is this your wife?
This is my wife.
Okay, congratulations. Thank you.
My wedding planner went online, find us a limo. We needed a limo to take us from the reception to the hotel at the end of this luxurious night. So and she found a formal limo. So we went out, I looked at the limo, it was nice, saw it, paid for it on the spot. He gave me my receipt. A couple days later, he emailed me my itinerary, confirmation, paid in full. We were good to go.
And you spoke to Mr. Kitchen?
I spoke with him and I met him actually at the place.
Okay, and
he didn't
what
have
happened?
an office. We actually met on a lot where he had all the limos, and we actually did the paperwork in the back of one of the limos. Now, I should have gotten a little leery then, but I just wanted to get this last vendor paid, keep Jamie happy, and let's keep pushing forward.
Because it is all about Jamie,
Pretty
right?
much, yeah. It pretty much was then, pretty much is now, but we're happy.
All right.
So
you rented one limo, you paid for it. Do you have a receipt for that?
Yes, I have a receipt
let me see
here.
that. How much was that limo rental?
$330.
All right, and what were the terms of the rental? How many hours would the car be there?
We're
What time would it show
gonna have
up?
it for 3 hours.
Okay, starting from what time to what
From
time?
8:30 to 11:30.
Okay.
And it was gonna pick us up at the reception and take us back to our hotel. So
And you don't dispute that he actually paid full $330 for one of the limos, correct?
No, ma'am.
So to continue on, at our reception, we had an open bar liquor. So my father called me from St. Louis, and he was like, well, I don't know if I want to drink and drive, especially, and he's not familiar with Atlanta. So I said, well, he said, call and see how much his second limo would be. So I called Mr. Kitchen, and I said, hey, man, can you give me a deal on another limo? He was like, no, it'll be the full price, another $330. I say, okay. I'll call my father, see what he says, I'll let you know. Called my father in St. Louis, $330 to drive me to a hotel, not gonna happen, I'll drive my Navigator.
Okay, before we get to that night and the deal with the limos, tell me about your wedding day and what happened.
Well, it was a lovely evening, you know. I've been with this man for over 10 years. So,
Oh, okay. Well, it's
you
about
know.
time.
Yeah.
Hey, time goes by fast.
Time flies when you're having fun. Okay.
So, you know, I was happy we finally got to this day. We've been planning the wedding for over 2 years. You
Okay.
know.
We're at the reception. A guy comes up to me. I guess it was about 8:30, so he was on time. He's like, "I'm your limo driver." I looked at the clock. "Oh, okay, good, you're on time." He said, "I'll be outside." Maybe 15 minutes later, another guy comes in with the previous guy. "I'm your limo driver."
Another limo driver?
Right.
A second
So
limo
two
driver.
drivers come
Okay.
up to me inside of the reception. And he's like, "I'm your limo driver." I'm like, "Well, I only ordered one limo." So he went out, and I'm assuming he must have contacted Mr. Kitchen. Because after about 30 minutes, he told me to come outside. We wanted to talk. I get on the phone with Mr. Kitchen, and he was like, "You need to pay for the other limo." I say, "I paid for one limo." "Oh,
You told him you ordered one limo and you
Yeah,
already
I
paid
ordered
for that
and paid
one.
for one limo.
And so you're surprised that a second limo showed
Right.
up and you tell him
My
you're not
planner,
paying for it.
He made the statement, "Well, unless you pay for the second one, I'm telling both of them to leave."
And is that what happened?
Yeah.
Coming up, Judge Faith puts the brakes on the defendant, driving the case in circles.
Why did you have the car leave early?
Because I had two cars there, ma'am.
They
Right.
paid for 3 hours. Why did you have the car leave before the 3 hours was up?
And later, a loan in default.
Why haven't you paid back the rest of the money?
Because he's suing the wrong person.
And he wants payback.
But yet she turns up with a new car, nicer than mine.
Oh, really?
Plaintiff Kendrick Lyles and his new bride Jamie are suing defendant Bill Kitchen for a full refund on a limo rental. But Bill says they refused to pay for the second limo they ordered, and he is countersuing for the unpaid limo rental and defamation of character.
So both of the limos left.
Both limos pull off.
How did you all get back to the hotel that
Well,
night?
that same father with that Lincoln Navigator, we got in the back of the Lincoln Navigator.
So you had to get in the back of the Lincoln Navigator. You didn't have a limo.
Yes. Like,
Mr. Kitchen,
Yes, ma'am.
I hope you have a really good explanation for this.
I believe I do.
Okay, let's hear from you.
Mr. Lyles came on July 5th. He requested a car. He paid for the car, as he stated, and we sent him a confirmation of his dates, times. A week before his wedding, he called me on the phone, and he stated, "I need a second limo for my in-laws." He says, "Can you make it happen?" I said, "Yes, I can."
Did you ask him to pay for the second limo at that time
No,
like
I
you did with
didn't.
the first limo?
No, ma'am, I didn't.
Did you send him a confirmation like you did with the first limo saying that a second limo had been confirmed and would be at the wedding?
No, I
Because he's
didn't.
saying he didn't request it at all.
I understand. I did not send him a confirmation for the second one, and the reason why is because it was a last-minute deal.
On the night of the wedding, what time do you say the first limo arrived?
I have 10 minutes late.
Okay, and at some point, you send a second limo as well?
They were both together, man. They both arrived at 10 minutes late.
Okay, at some point, you direct both of those drivers to leave
Yes,
the
yes,
reception.
ma'am.
Okay, and approximately what time was that?
9:40.
You told me that the plaintiffs ordered the first limo, paid full price for the first limo
Yes, ma'am.
for 3 hours and
Yes,
sent
ma'am.
them a confirmation.
Yes, ma'am.
And that limo actually showed up.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
why did you tell that driver to leave when they've already paid for the services for that first limo? The second limo aside, I'm just talking about the first one. I have the paperwork. I know there's a contract in place. What authority did you have to tell that first limo driver to leave their wedding reception?
In the limo business, everything is done on hour intervals. Okay?
And that car was there for 1 hour and 40 minutes. You just
That means
told me
it was
that.
there-
But they paid for 3 hours.
That means that car was already there for 2 hours.
2 hours, 1 hour and 40 minutes. They paid for 3 hours. Why did you have the car leave early?
Because I had two cars there, ma'am.
They paid for 3 hours. Why did you have the car leave before the 3 hours
Then let me
was
answer
up?
my question.
Answer the question, please.
He reserved two cars. He reserved them over the phone to me. He bold-faced lied to me, made me very upset. I told him, "Sir, you have two cars there. You are already into me for $440 because we were already there for 2 hours."
They paid for 3 hours for that first car. They have a contract, and you can't aggregate the time by putting two cars together and say because both of those cars were there, that's 4 hours. That's not how it works. That's not how it works.
Ma'am.
You didn't have the authority ready to have that first limo leave. Now, I want to ask you about the second limo. You say in your counterclaim he ordered a second car. It's your burden of proof to come into court today, give me some paperwork, but you don't have any paperwork to back up what you're saying, sir. Now, you have a counterclaim for $5,000. You have a counterclaim for $5,000. Tell me about that.
Our reputation means everything to me. We have an A listing with the Better Business Bureau. Because of this, which is the only complaint that we have ever had, has taken my rating from an A to a B.
What was the complaint?
The complaint was that he did not order the second car when he did order the second car.
The absolute defense to defamation is when someone just tells the truth about what happened. And the truth may damage your reputation, as you say. The truth may hurt, but in his mind, that is the truth about what happened. So that's not defamation. You don't get damages for that. I don't think that you intentionally tried to send a second car to try to squeeze more money out of them on the night of their wedding. There was perhaps a misunderstanding, but what you're saying today, you have no paperwork to support it.
There's no misunderstanding.
So my verdict in this case—
I took the man for his word, okay, where I come from.
And you also took $330 from him for his wedding, to have a limo for his wedding, and you took that away. You have to understand how important that is for a bride on her wedding night. That was an important night for her, sir, and you had no right to take the limo away because they paid for 3 hours. My verdict in this case is for the plaintiff's $330.
Thank you.
Counterclaim is dismissed.
Thank you.
Plaintiff Thomas THUNSTROM is suing his former friend for an unpaid loan. He says he tried to help her out when she said her mother's ashes were left behind after she was evicted. Defendant Darlene O'Neill says her boyfriend borrowed the money and she had nothing to do with the transaction. Therefore, she owes nothing. She also says the plaintiff is suing the wrong person. She is joined in court by her boyfriend, Scott Berglund.
Thomas THUNSTROM?
Yes, ma'am.
You are suing the defendant, Darlene O'Neill?
Yes.
For $2,550 you say she owes you for an unpaid loan?
Correct.
Okay, we'll start with you, sir. What's going on here?
Well, on or about the 1st of June of this year, the defendant's boyfriend had asked me for a $3,000 loan. They were going to lose their home, and he had never said that at the time, so I just refused. Didn't want to borrow him the money. Well, I picked her up from work either that night or the next night, and I was giving her a ride home every now and then when her ride would fall through. And on the way home, she had started crying, telling me about how her mother, or how he had promised her mother would never hit the streets and stuff. And I was thinking, I'd never seen a mother over there.
Next on Judge Faith, things start to get out of hand.
He kept coming to my work, and to have them bring me down so that he could ask about money.
And Judge Faith has to set them straight.
Okay, why haven't you paid back the rest of the money?
Because he's suing the wrong person.
Plaintiff Thomas THUNSTROM is suing his former friend for an unpaid loan. Defendant Darlene O'Neill claims she was threatened by the plaintiff and she doesn't owe anything.
Why don't you start by telling me how you know Miss O'Neill?
Through her boyfriend.
Okay, how did the two of you know each other?
Through a mutual friend.
How long have the two of you known each other?
About 6 months.
Yeah.
Okay, and so at some point you tell him that your girlfriend is about to be evicted?
Yeah, she had received an eviction notice, and I was trying to get the money up to pay it, and I called Tom and asked him, and he said no, he couldn't, and that was that.
He asked you for how much money?
$3,000.
$3,000?
Yes.
And you say no because at that point you don't know it's for an eviction, to try to prevent an eviction?
Correct.
Okay, and then what happens next?
Well, I had picked Darlene up at work. It was either that night or the following night, and she had started.
And why are you picking Darlene up from work?
Her ride would fall through every now and then. And I just offered, you know, if you ever need a ride, give me a call. On the way home, she had told me about they were being evicted, and she started crying, telling me about how he had promised that her mother would never land on the streets, and I didn't know there was a mother there. Well, then she'd explained that her mother had passed and was cremated in a urn. And so I decided at that time that I would borrow them the $3,000.
But you would lend them the $3,000?
Yep, but on the following day when I called him up and said, let's do this, he had called the park manager and they said, no, you've passed the deadline, it's $4,000 now. So I agreed upon that and went to the bank, drew 4 $1,000 money orders out, and went with him to the manager's office and I handed the money orders over, so I knew where they were going.
Okay, so when you first spoke to them about giving them money to prevent an eviction, you spoke to Scott.
Correct.
And then you spoke to Miss O'Neill when you picked her up from work one day.
Yes.
And she told you about her mother, and what did you mean by that?
My mother was handicapped, and I took care of her, and when she died, she was cremated, and I still have her. She's there in the house with me. And he, when they went to lock the door, forgot to get her urn. So she was still locked in the house when they locked
So the
door.
eviction actually happened?
Yeah.
And how far behind were you on your rent payments at that point?
Well, April till June.
And how much was your monthly rent?
$500.
Okay. Did the plaintiff, in fact, give you 4 $1,000 money
No.
orders? What happened?
I was not present for any of that. He was.
Yeah, he met me at the park office, and
And you were able to use the money that he gave you to make payments, and they unlocked the home so you could go back and live there. And are you still living there now?
Yes.
How many payments did you make to him?
I made 3. One was for $900, one was for $700, and one was for $200.
Okay, and why haven't you paid back the rest of the money?
Because he's suing the wrong person.
What
He
do you
should
mean?
be suing him. Technically, I mean, I
So you're just gonna throw your boyfriend right under the bus, just like that?
I'm just saying. I mean, I was paying.
You're like, it's me or him, and one of us has to go, so it's gonna be him.
I never made any agreement with him.
And now, Judge Faith rules.
What do you have to say about what she's saying that he should be suing you, that you owe the money?
technically she never seen the money, or you pretty much didn't even know what was going on until it was all said and done.
One of you accepted 4 $1,000 money orders from this man, am I correct?
Correct.
One of you took those $4,000 money orders, went to your landlord, gave them that money so you would not be evicted, so you would have the eviction on your home reversed, correct? Didn't one of you not do that?
Correct.
You see where I'm going?
Yes,
so it's
I
not
do see
making
where
a lot
you're
of
going,
sense that you're both
but-
stop talking. So it's not making a lot of sense that you're both standing in front of me now saying, doing this, and saying, we don't owe any money.
But he kept coming to my work and to have them bring me down so that he could ask about money.
And you owe him money.
I do owe him money, but
So
you
why
don't
is that
bring
a
it to my
problem?
job. You don't come to my job. I was about to, they were.
Let me tell you something. When you owe somebody money, if you don't want them coming to your job asking for the money, you know what you do? You pay them back.
And
that's when you alleviate that problem.
But yet she turns up with a new car, nicer than mine.
Oh, really?
But
Yeah.
the reason why I got my car is because I didn't have transportation. Where I live, there was no buses going back and forth to work. I was having to wait for.
Ma'am, you did not have a place to live. You said you were so concerned about your mother. You did not have a place
I don't
to
care
live.
about the place to live. The only thing that I cared about was my mother.
Well, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. You cared enough to accept $4,000 from him. So you could understand,
I understand.
why someone would be upset when you bought a new car, knowing that you still owe him money.
He didn't have the right to tell me not to buy a new car. I did everything I could until the night he came up to my house when Scott wasn't there and threatened me.
How did he threaten you, ma'am?
He told me that he would damage everything I owned,
Yeah, he said
including
he'd
my own
destroy
car.
everything that she owned.
By the time he was done, he would destroy everything I owned.
I don't believe you.
That was when I stopped paying him and told him to deal with Scott from then on. Because he did not borrow me the money and I did not owe him it.
Yes, he did. He loaned you the money.
Exactly. And
You willingly used it and happily used it, and when it's time to pay it back, all you want to do is come up with excuses. Well, I needed a new car, and I needed to do this, and he's harassing me, and I don't want to hear the excuses.
So is it legal for him to go to her work?
No,
and
here's
harass?
what's legal. What's legal is you're going to pay him back $2,550, judgment for the plaintiff.
If you or someone you know has a dispute, don't take the law into your own hands. Let Judge Faith rule on it for you. To submit your case, go to judgefaith.com and tell us your story. See you in court.